there, it's Jackie Bolhuis from Klompen Stampers. Today, we're going to talk about the Many Messages bundle. I've gotten a lot of questions with this lately, and I hadn't actually used it until I got ready to do this video. So as I got questions, I thought, I better pull this out and share with you guys and share some tips for you. This is a unique bundle. It's in the mini catalog, and, well, I got the stamp over there. You'll see it in a second. It's one big stamp. When you look at it here, it seems like it's a bunch of little greeting stamps, but it's one, and then it's one die. No, these are not intended to be cut apart. The whole idea is you stamp the one big stamp, and then you die cut all of them at once, and then you just have a whole bunch of greetings to make cards with. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to share some tips for stamping it. We're going to actually use the Stamparatus, because with big stamps, I think the Stamparatus is the absolute only way to stamp them and get a good image. And I'll give you a couple of tips for using the die in the Stampin' Cut and Boss machine, and then we're just going to use some greetings to make some quick and easy cards. So I hope you enjoy the video today. It's a lot of tips, especially for using this. So without further ado, I'm going to flip this camera. Oh wait, one thing I always forget to tell you. I will, down in the description of the video, right down there, they'll have a link, and it will take you over to the blog post on my website that will share all the details of the projects I'm doing today. I'll have the complete list of supplies. I'll have more pictures. I actually have, oh gosh, probably 8, 9, 10 cards to share with you today. We're just going to make a couple, teach you how to use this, but then I have other samples. I'll have pictures of all those on the website, and I'll have a list of the supplies I used and also all the measurements for the card that I make for you today. So lots of information, so make sure you check that out if you want more details on what I share today. Alrighty, I think it's time now to flip it down and let's get to work. Hold on one second. Like I said, the main thing that I want to share with you guys today is how to use the stamp and die bundle, because it is new and different and unique, and we've never had anything quite like this before. It's actually kind of cool once you start playing around with it. So, like I said, one big stamp. Look at that thing. It's ginormous. Now, I find that anything that's big, it's way easier to use the Stamparatus. Otherwise, you've got this huge stamp. It's hard to ink and get pressure and all of that. So I love my Stamparatus. The other nice thing is if you don't get a real good image, you can like stamp it again right on top of it for perfect placement and make sure everything is really nice and crisp. Okay, so you notice I did not put the sticker on here. Now, I don't put stickers on a lot of my stamps to begin with, but especially with this one, you know, those stickers are super sticky. And when you try to put them on your stamp, there's no like wiggle room. There's no second chance. And so a great big sticker like that to try to put it on here could be hard. I had a couple people say they messed it up. So I'm like, you know, I'm going to kind of encourage you to probably not put it on this one. So Stamparatus, if you've never used it before, it's a placement tool. And you stick your stamp on there. Our paper's here. We're going to ink it up and we're going to stamp it. Now, one tip I like to do is put an ink pad underneath. That makes this more flat instead of at an angle, and it's a little bit easier to ink it up. And then we're going to just grab our pad and we're going to ink this up good. Now, there's a lot of surface there, a lot of words, so make sure you get all the corners. We're going to rub it a little bit, get everything good and inky. And then I just have a scrap piece of basic white, okay? And by scrap, I just knew it was big enough to fit. And I'm going to make sure I have it tucked up tight in this corner, tight up and tight to the right. That way, if this doesn't stamp perfect and I need to re-stamp it, as long as I have everything tight in that corner, we'll line up the second time. So we're just going to close it. And again, it's so big. Move your hands around, take your time, especially over here at the right where that hinge is. Give it some good pressure. And then when we pick it up, waha, you can see right there, I did not get good pressure on it. So what I'm going to do is let's just ink it up again. We might as well ink the whole thing so we get everything. I like really nice crisp black. Now, because I'm standing and kind of reaching at a weird angle here, it doesn't surprise me I missed that side, because typically I would be straight up and down it. So let me try to get some good pressure there. I'm going to, hopefully I don't get the wrong thing, my head or anything in the camera, but if it's straight under me, I know I can get much better pressure. It looks like this is really difficult. It's not. Part of it's just the angle I'm at. I'm not able to come straight down on it. So let's see. Look at that. There we go. And now look at how nice and black they are. So even if I didn't get that, or not get that good the first time, I might have done it a second time anyway, just to get that really nice crisp black. So now we can move this, get that out of the way, and we are ready to grab our die. So I have the Stampin' Cut and Boss Machine platforms here. So what's great about this one, it tells us right here what we need. So we're using thin dies. So I need my number 1 platform. I need my number 2 for the thin die adapter. Then I need a cutting plate, my cardstock, my die, and another cutting plate. Now, you'll see my cutting plates. This one, it's got a few scratches in it, but it's pretty new. It's nice and flat. This one has been cut up. I have used this. This has probably been run through 1,000 times. And what I like to do to make my plates last longer, I always use the same one on the bottom for cutting and the same one on the top. And then eventually, and I'm getting really close to calling it a day on this one, I'll buy a new one. I'll take this one that's a little bit marred. It'll become my bottom, and I'll put a brand new one on top. And that's how I kind of rotate them out. But what you want to do is make sure you're always flipping this. So one time when I run it through that way. One time I run it through, I go this way. And I'm constantly doing this. And I even spin them this way and flip them in all different ways. That will help keep it flat. You can see I have a little bit of a bow in there. That's natural. Some people say there's bend and bow a whole lot. It's probably because you're not moving them around. And you also, with smaller dies, you want to try to cut at this end, over here, over here. Don't always go for that, front and center, okay? So that's a few tips for that. Now, to do this, we're going to just put that on. This will line up really well. And I like to use kind of as my points of reference, the heart and these 3 stars, because if you see those really good in the openings, all your other greetings should line up perfectly. We put this on, and then it's ready to run through. So let me go do that, and I'll be right back. Now, I will tell you that when you run this through, because it is such a big die with so much cutting surface, it's a little bit harder to roll through, so don't let that scare you. The other thing, it does make a lot of cracking and popping noise, but that's just, again, you've got so much metal that you're putting through there that it's just going to do that. But look how easy they fall through. So there we have that. Let's get this out of here, and let's kind of, oh, they all just fell out. Look at that. Brush them off. Look at all those greetings. Look at, we're ready just to make a whole bunch of cards for all different occasions. Now, I know some people have sat and just cut out like 10 of these different colors or whatever, and they put them in a little box, and then you can just have them for, oh, I need a card. Let's grab a greeting. So great little greeting set. Hope you like it. So let's use it to make some cards. We're going to do quick and easy note cards here. I've got some of the Fine Art Floral, I believe it's called, Designer Series paper. That's in the mini catalog. I love this paper. It looks so hand-painted. And did you know that actually the designer, that when they created this paper, it was hand-painted on canvases, and then they photographed it and did whatever they have to do to make it into paper. So it looks hand-painted, and it is hand-painted. And then we're using the note cards and envelopes, and I have cut this to just fit the whole entire front. We're going to cover up the whole front, and I kind of strategically cut some of it so I would have some of the nice painted images. And so I originally cut it at 3.5 by 5, which is the size of the front of that note card, and then I cut off, I think that must be about a 1/2 inch strip. And so I just cut off a 1/2 inch strip to flip it over, just to have a little bit different look there. So what I'm going to do is speed up the video. I have 4 different pieces here, and you don't need to see me gluing all of these on. So as soon as I get them all glued on, we'll come back and I'll show you how to finish up these cards. And there we go. So we have 4 note cards here with that beautiful paper on it. It's like, why do a lot of other work to them when it's so beautiful as it is? And then let's just grab our greetings here. Now, if you wanted to, you could actually just cut out a bunch of these, do a bunch of note cards like this with different Designer Series paper. And then when you need a card, you could go ahead and just grab a couple different greetings, throw some dimensionals on the back, and go for it. So let's see. Be strong, be brave, you got this. Wouldn't that be a great card to send to someone that's going through a difficult time, and maybe they've got something really difficult? coming up, all I'm going to do is add a greeting on there. So how about just a card to say hello? So let's take that one. Now we're going to stick 4 on here. Then I'm going to show you some other ones that I made. So don't know where to put it. We don't want to cover up that beautiful paper. That's why I like these little greetings on this, because it's really letting that paper just really be seen. Let's see. I'm so happy to celebrate these moments with you. I'm kind of picking the bigger ones. Now, a couple other cards I have to share. I'll show you how you can actually combine a couple of these at one time to make more of like a little bit more of a greeting saying. So I'm so happy to celebrate. Oh, these are turning out really super cute. And let's see, what do we want for our last one? Wishing you a year of magical moments and wonderful memories. Yep, let's do that one. Not that it matters, they would all work. So we're just going for those. Now this one, I think we're going to go up higher because I don't want to mess with that flower. So let's go right there. And I mean, we could just go and go. So like I said, if you just took a whole bunch of note cards come in a pack of 20, take a pack of 20, cover them all with all that designer series paper that you have sitting around that you're hoarding and not using, cut out a bunch of these, and then just add greetings to them. How simple is that? Now let me show some other ones I made. Here's 3 more. I made these the exact same way. Okay, I just took a piece of that dragonfly paper and I cut it 3.5 by 5, cut a strip and kind of mix and match like so. But this time for my greetings, I white embossed on black cardstock. So I did the same thing. I used my Stamparatus with the Versamark, and then I cut it out, and you can see where I just used, here I kind of combined a couple. But look at how pretty that is to just add those greetings. And then while I had all these black ones, I kept going. Here I didn't cover the whole card. I just wanted to show off those dragonflies. But again, we combined a couple. You see my pile's pretty small because I was trying to see how I could use a whole bunch at one time. And then here we go. You can see there's a lot here. Now I will have, again, pictures of all of these over in that blog post, so you'll be able to see how I combine different pieces from all the greetings you get. And then these two, I think I kind of copied these out of the catalog, or that was my starting point. But I love the colors. And I just used a circle punch to punch out a bunch of cardstock, glued it all down, put a couple of those colorful rhinestones on there, and then took several with that black just to make it pop. So there's those cards. So I hope this kind of gives you an idea of the different ways that you can use all of the great greetings that you get in this many messages. You know, it's kind of a stamp it once, cut it out once, and look at all the greetings you have that you can continue to play with. So I hope my tips helped you, and that this might be a stamp set that you look at for something a little bit different and makes it quick and easy to make quick and easy cards. So as always, if you have any questions whatsoever, make sure to reach out to me. I'm here to help you any way I can. And don't forget the link down in the video description will take you to the blog post, and I'll have the pictures of all these as well as all of the supplies I used. So until I stamp with you again, have a stamp happy day.